Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's Short Attention Span webinar. This is Friday the 13th, Kelly. Are you scared? Yeah, I know, right? So this is kind of interesting. You know, when I write these things, sometimes they flow out of me. And other times, not that I know what it's like, but it's like giving birth because you're just, you're lamenting over, these things. It's like you're giving birth to an idea. This one, and I just asked you before we went live, I just asked you, have we done this one recently? But I tell you what, this is so important. The answers to this question is so important that even if you've heard it before, hear it again, okay? Here's the premise. You call the fabulous Kelly Malazzi, or as she likes to be known, Mazzoli. You call Kelly up and you say, Kelly, my sales are just not where I want them to be. This is the first question that Kelly is going to ask you. Take it away, Kelly.
Yeah, the very first thing we want to find out is if you're calling on the right kinds of customers. So, when we think about the kinds of products and services that you offer, is that in line with the kinds of customers you're calling on? I mean, it's very, very important that you take some time to really give thought to who your current most successful customers are and then figuring out ways to profile those and build your prospect pool from ones that are like that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And target marketing can be defined in terms of company, in terms of company size, in terms of location, in terms of somebody within the company that you might look at and say, boy, that's my kind of person, or maybe a different department, maybe it's a gender, maybe it's an age group, but that's number one. Kelly, number two is our biggest one. What does it mean? Am I saying something of value?
Well, again, this is what we always say, Bill, is if you pick up the phone and say, do you buy printing, I sell printing, you are going to be in big trouble real fast. What this means is that we want to stimulate a conversation in which we are uncovering what a client's problems are and then figuring out ways to solve those problems based on the solutions that we bring to the table. So we don't want to get in that rut of getting commoditized. We don't want to just be in the bid pool. We don't want to just be one of those three quotes. We want to be with high-level people who have revenue responsibility, who are trying to accomplish things, and we as trusted advisors figure out ways to help them achieve their goals.
See, I love this. You're doing all the work. This is great. Okay, keep going. Do I have a prospecting process?
This is, again, so important. What we find most often is that, especially with seasoned people, they'll prospect when it's slow, and then they'll get busy again, and then they'll stop prospecting. And there's absolutely no continuity, no rhyme or reason to it whatsoever. And that's actually probably doing more harm than good because a prospect hears from you once and then they never hear from you again. What we advocate is that you create a list of suspects and that you create a plan with multiple touches across multiple mediums. So you're using the phone, the email, dropping by, sending things in the mail, social media, all different kinds of ways to contact people a number of times so that you can kind of build your brand and announce yourself as somebody who's not going away.
Yep. Okay, and then finally, the thing that we talk about, which is the glue, the gasoline that drives the engine, diligence and pleasant persistency. So you've asked these three questions, and the fourth one is, am I following it with diligence and pleasant persistency? Kelly, if I'm a sales rep, and I say, yes, 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 yes. Yes, I'm calling on the right target market. Yes, I believe I'm saying something of value. Yes, I've got a prospecting process. Yes, I'm doing the whole thing with diligence. What are you going to tell me as my sales coach?
First, I'm going to say maybe you need a breath mint. And secondly, no, I'm completely kidding. I'm going to say that you got to stick with it. That if really, truly, all of these things are in play, it's just a matter of time. However, I may look to a mentor or somebody that I trust that could go on a sales call with me just to check that these things are actually happening the way I think that they are, because sometimes our perception can be a little skewed. I might ask a colleague to sit with me while I make calls. I may ask somebody with some marketing experience to read my letters and read my outgoing emails and read and maybe work on some voicemail scripts with me, because maybe I'm just not quite as good as I think I am. So I would definitely just want to kind of get a checkup on all of these things.
Okay, so your point is that if I'm answering my own questions, yes, 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 it doesn't necessarily mean it might mean that I'm too close to the situation.
Mhm.
Yeah, all right. And tinker with everything, gang. Never stop. There is no finish line in this. Keep tinkering. Keep calling it a different target market because I tell you what, your target market will change. Take it from a 52-year-old guy that used to think that 52-year-old guys were not his target market. Well, that's when I was 25. But this is something you have to keep working with because there's no finish line. So anyhow, all right, Kelly Malazzi, great job today. You did all the work. I just dozed off. It was wonderful.
I was hoping you would put a little icon up here of somebody with their hands around somebody's neck, because I picture myself like taking one of my salespeople and going, "Why aren't you selling more?" with my hands around his neck. That's very satisfying to me.
You can use that as an icon to successinprint.net. Hey, just an idea. Just spitballing here with you.
Thanks, Bill.
All right, Kelly, thanks. Enjoy your Friday the 13th, everybody.
Thanks.